Today we're going to be talking about volume. Now, the measure of the content or capacity of a three-dimensional figure is called volume. Now, all volume is measured in cubic units, like we've been doing. And so the formula, they've got two formulas that we're going to talk about today, and they are both on your chart that I gave you. All right, so here's our chart, and today we're going to be looking at these two. We're going to be looking at volume here and volume for a cube. Okay, that's the two formulas that we're going to be using today. Now, so to find the volume of a rectangular prism is simply volume equals length times width times the height, which all of those figures are already given to you. Okay, so let's practice or look at some of these. So if you are given a rectangular prism and without drawing it, let's just say they tell you that the length equals 4 feet, the height equals 3 feet, and the width equals 2 feet. Okay, so the formula is volume equals length times width. Well, you can actually just write it length times width times height. So volume equals, this is how you write your problems when you're doing them, right? What's the length? 4. What's the height or the width? Height, the width is 2. What's your height? 3. So everybody looking up here, Bear? So 4 times 2 is what? 8 times 3 is what? So 24 cubic feet. Okay? Cubic feet. Remember that you're writing it not in square units, but cubics. Okay? So cubic feet. Any questions on that? Which we'll practice some here in a few minutes. Yes?
So we're doing the volume today.
We're doing volume today.
Just the volume, right? Just the volume.
We've already done lateral area and surface area. Yeah, we're just doing volume today. So that is volume for a rectangular prism. Now let's talk about the volume for a cube. Okay? Now when we are looking at volume for a cube, we automatically know that all sides are equal, right? All sides are equal. So what is the formula for volume of a cube? It is V equals E cubed, which is the same thing as saying volume equals E times E times E. Okay? And E, if you look here, is the length of each side. Okay? E is the length of each side.
So does that mean we have to multiply length, width, and height? Is that what that means?
No, that's not what that means. That means what? Okay, so let's say that we have a cube with a 4 inches. So volume, I'm just going to carry it over here. So volume equals E cubed, okay? No, let me finish it. So volume equals 4 times 4 times 4. You see that, Noah? Does that make sense, what you're doing here? Because you're multiplying whatever the measurement is, you plug it in here, and you're multiplying it 3 times by itself. So 4 times 4 is 16, right? What is 16 times 4? 64 cubic inches. That's your answer. Okay? Does that help?
Yeah.
We're going to be finding the volume, and we're going to practice a few of these. So, let's say, first of all, we're going to have a rectangular prism. I'm just going to say that it is a rectangle, R-E-C-T-A-N-G-L-E. Okay, and the measurements here, let's just say the length equals 8 meters. The width equals 6 meters, and the height equals 7 meters. Okay, so I want you to always write the formula. What is the formula for volume? Length times width times height. Now, with me together, what is the length? 8 times what's your width? Times your height. Then you multiply. Volume equals 6 times 8 is 48 times 7. It might take you a minute, but multiply that out.
$96.
No. Could try though, but no. Has anybody got an answer? 300. Okay, go ahead.
I don't have 300.
What'd you get?
236.
Should be 336. 336. Look at this. Meters cubed. So remember that I talked about the linear measurements are cubic. When you're doing square, there's square feet, square inch, square yards. But when you're doing cubics, it's cubic feet, cubic inches, or inch, cubic yard. But when you're doing the metric measurements, it is meters cubed, centimeters cubed, millimeters cubed, and so on. So this is what I want you to see, that when you do these problems, you have to do this. Everybody look up this there. You have to write your formula, put your figures in, multiply, and then your answer. 3 steps there, okay? Now, let's do the volume of a cube. All right, so let's just practice another volume of a cube here, and let's say that this cube is 5 milliliters. Okay, so what is the formula? Volume equals E cubed. Everybody say that with me. Volume equals E cubed. Volume equals, look, 5, there, everybody watch, times 5 times 5. Okay, so that takes the measurement and multiply it by itself. The 3 times, 5 times 5 times 5. Multiply. Volume equals 5 times 5 is what?
25.
Times 5 more? 125 milliliters cubed. That's your answer. And that's how you write your problem. Any questions on how you do these? You think you got it down? All right, so you're going to do page 204. Let me make sure I'm right. And 205. So page 204, or pages 204 and 205, you're going to do 1 through 6 all. Okay, so that's 6 problem. That's 3 of the rectangular prism and 3 cubes. Okay, now, yes, you must show your works. I don't have a problem if you do it in your book, but then I want you to write it on paper by showing your work with your step by step. Remember, you're going to write your formula. Then you're going to show, then you're going to plug in your figures and multiply.
Sometimes it's cheap when you show my work.
And the last number 3 is your answer. Just like I did on the other pages, okay?